So this well, it was by the Kirk documentary group that put this out through Frontline several hours ago about the rise of RFK Jr. And of course, this is all about his possible run in 2028. So what you have to realize is that all of these people, including JD, and Trump knows it. I mean, why these people still think they're pulling something over on Trump is beyond me, okay? It's like, you've lost. But all they're thinking about is riding his coattails, letting him just do whatever he's going to do. And then they're going to, one of them, because they're all on the same team, they're either former Democrats, or they're rhinos, or they're never Trumpers, or they're all of the above, okay? And they all just figure as soon as this term's done, we got to get in there and we'll get control of the people again. Hey, you guys lost. You lost. You don't know what you're up against. You don't even want to look at what you're facing because you're foolish people. You really should be trying to find Christ and get your shit together. But I don't think you'll do that, most especially people like the Kennedys. See, the Kennedys, the reason they've gotten their royalty and their power and their status is, unfortunately, wicked people, wicked families will take out their own. Again, because it's worth more to them. Then you have people like this fool who's out of Harvard. He's been like with PBS since 1983. He shapes what his role is to do these documentary and shape what the public's opinion is. So he's doing this so he starts planting the seeds that, well, RFK Jr. might be good in 2028. No. None of that's going to happen anyway, okay? It's just not. These people don't realize what's going on. They don't. Or they maybe do, and they just think they're going to be able to head it off. They just can't accept it. So anyway, so that's what this fool does, is he shapes it for everyone. Yeah, he's done documentaries since 1983, then 1987 created the Kirk, because his name is Michael Kirk, the Kirk documentary group. I mean, how convenient, his last name is Kirk, and yet, good old RFK Jr. was soulmates with Charlie Kirk. Now, of course, if you try to look up him, it'll immediately, AI will say, there's no relation to Charlie Kirk. It's like, well, I didn't even ask if there was. I just asked who he's married to, who's his, children are. Oh, that's private. He's married to some Elizabeth Aldridge. Nothing about her except that she works on some of his documentaries with. So somebody that's out of Harvard has won like the Peabody Award, has won an Emmy Award, has won award after award after award by all of his different political documentaries. You don't get to know anything about his personal life. Except his last name's Kirk. What a coincidence, yeah. So the reason this is all just dangerous, okay, and all bullshit is these people serve a wicked agenda. So this guy here, this is Stephen Kennedy Smith, is it? I don't know why they call her. He's married to Jean Kennedy, okay? Been with JFK for a long time. I'm telling you, I think this Smith goes back to the deranged Smith. I do. It's a whole family affair with the Kirks, the Kennedys, the Smiths. It is. But him, and this is that's him. This is Stephen Smith. That's Stephen Smith. When you ask AI what happened to his face, they say, oh, he just has that youthful boy look. And I'm like, no, it doesn't look youthful. It looks like somebody replaced his face with somebody else's. He's in the documentary. Again, the Smiths, the Kirks, the Kennedys, it's all the same problem. Like, the Kennedys are one of the 13 families, if people don't. I mean, people know that, right? The 13 families are known for being not good people, okay? Wicked. These people take out their own, especially when they get big, like the JFKs or the Kirks. because they can gain more by doing their necromancy of, this spirit entrapment kind of thing. This is why God didn't want idols. This is also why, you would have had to see my last video about Sheol. Before Jesus came, Sheol was just a place where the consciousness went. Okay? Your body would die. And so if you were a righteous person, you went to one chamber in Sheol. If you were unrighteous, you went to another chamber. It wasn't hell. It wasn't any of that. But it was just sort of this limbo. Okay? Jesus had to come. This was the other reason Jesus had to, which is why Jesus immediately after, being crucified on the cross and saying it is finished, he went down first. He went down to release all the righteous souls out of there. Why? Because if he didn't get the righteous out of there, the necromancies, the occult, the people that know that that's where the consciousness goes, will call those spirits to try to entrap them in their idols. This is why God wanted no idols. What's interesting is about, this is another JFK one, is these are paper clips. Do you see this? Paper clips. Paper clips all over it, all over it. This is the full thing. Yeah, but it's paper clips everywhere. So I'm like, there has to be something to this. Yeah, it's like binding. It's wanting to bind something. Remember how the Bible talks about binding things on earth? Okay, God's talking about something else. But the occult, it's about binding the spirit, the consciousness to the idol. And many artists have used paper clips alone to make their idols. That's all paper clips. Even the urine going into the urinal is paper clips. Here's a closer up of, you can see it's a hand, all paper clips. It's like something you'd see at Burning Man, But there's a reason behind these techniques they use. This is all paper clips. Now with this isn't like JFK or anything. This is more, I think it's just artists using paper clips. But when you see them using them in stuff like this, see all the paper clips? They're everywhere. They're all up into the forehead, into the hair. It's all smooth here in the neck, but all like around the mouth. You could see it there. Okay, this is because they've been using his spirit to continually. They are. I mean, it's in the Bible. We just never really, this is why God didn't want idols. It was much more serious than you think. So, this is grotesque. This is not art. This is the back of the head of another JFK bust, idol, the head up or the neck up. That's being sold online for $1,600. Do you see this? This is just bizarre. Like it's supposed to look like I blood or what? I mean, that's how you know the occult is. It's got to stop. Here's the front of it. See, these are ones that just like you look at Abraham Lincoln, that doesn't look, like at the monument or at, the Lincoln Monument, and it's like that's not creepy. I mean, I've never been there, but this, what they're doing with him, and it's because that's the reason they needed the Kirk gone. Because they're related to him, and it's another one to take out, a young one they can use over and over again. So this is why Jesus came, to get all the righteous spirits out of there so they can't use the righteous. So now the only ones they can use that are still there in Sheol is the unrighteous, because the righteous will go immediately to Jesus. But the unrighteous are still there. So that's how you know if they get taken out, God's not protecting them because they weren't up to any good when they're this big of a figure. And then this witchcraft is how they continue to keep their power, is doing stuff like this. See, look at this. Look at the ear. It's just, it's disgusting. and it's all necromancy, witchcraft.